Shotgun with Charlie.
Riding shotgun refers to the practice of sitting next to the driver in a moving vehicle. The term riding shotgun came around after the time of the stagecoach, when somebody used to sit next to the driver holding a shotgun, in case they ran into bandits. My name is Charlie Cook, and I drive a lot. I like to talk to people while I'm driving, so I interview people in my car while I'm driving. Welcome to Riding Shotgun with Charlie. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie. Today, we are doing a show in the middle of the pandemic, and I have some Leadslingers Hand Sanitizer. These guys are at Leadslingerswhiskey.com. You can order some hand sanitizer at info@leadslingerswhiskey.com. I'm going to apply some. I got some for my passenger.
Whoa. Dude, you make a mess.
I know, right? Here's what I like about the oh, my mask is falling. Here's what I like about the Leadslinger stuff. It's not chunky like the Purell.
It's all nice and smooth and watery.
It is. As you can see, it's all on us. All right, masks off. Now I feel like an 80s rocker with this thing on.
Yay, Leadslinger. Thank you so much.
Yes, so we are spreading the health. My passenger today is Brooke Cheney from A Great Start Shooting School. There we go.
Ta-da.
And she's also from the DC Project. I'm going to give her a bottle of the Leadslingers Hand Sanitizer because we are trying to spread the health.
All right.
All right.
So, here's my important question.
Yes.
Where do I get the fancy top that you have?
Oh, that's a great question. I got mine at the Dollar General.
Okay. I need to know these things.
It was Palmolive. Hand soap.
I bet you.
Palmolive hand soap is the one
Dawn
that
at
fit.
home.
So that it might work. I don't know if it did or not,
All right,
but I had to go out and find
that.
All right, let's get down to some biz. We're hand sanitized. Thank you so much for being on the show. We can shake hands now. Woohoo!
Yay! All right.
I feel ridiculous.
Oh, you can. Do you want me to take that off you?
No.
Okay. I can undo knots. All right. So you're gonna take a left and then a quick right.
A left and a quick right.
And it's really that way.
All right. It's really that way.
It's really that way, and then see where all those signs are. Then you're gonna go that way. That would be the right.
That would be right.
Because when I hold my hand up, it doesn't make an R.
It doesn't make an R.
Sorry.
So I'm gonna sound like a sexist pig.
Okay.
This is why women are directionally challenged.
Dude.
Right?
Wait. Oh, well, no, I won't tell you that joke now.
All right. All right. Brooke Cheney is who we have. She's from a Great Start Shooting School here in Connecticut.
Yes, sir.
You took me to the range outside of, in the backyard?
In my backyard,
In the backyard. You have a lot of cool stuff in there.
Yeah.
You've got a Texas Star.
Yeah.
You've got the dueling tree.
Yeah.
You've got popper targets. You've got what do you call them? Out and backs.
Swingers. The kind that go
Targets.
like this. Yes.
Targets.
The targets that go back and forth like this.
That's so cool.
That kind of swinger. I know you have a varied, group of audience, so I need to clarify something sometimes.
We absolutely do. We absolutely do.
All right.
All right. So, how did you get into gun stuff, Brooke?
I had kids.
You had kids.
I had kids.
Wait a second.
Yes.
You should not have kids and guns. It's dangerous.
And that's why I got into guns.
Nice.
So
that's how I got into it too.
So, I mean, the reality of it is my father always had guns.
Yeah.
I am the child of a divorced set of parents, and up at my father's house there was explosives and guns and trucks and stuff like that. Yes. And well, he was a little bit of a pyro. He was also a fire dude,
It kind of professionally or just for fun?
No. Like he
was a
helped out
fireman?
with the Yellowstone fires back in the 80s, 90s, early 90s, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But just for when I was a kid, it was up in New Hampshire. But don't worry, you're going straight for a while. It is the country.
It is the country.
So there were guns everywhere.
Yeah.
But I didn't know anything. My story, which you will also find on my website, ready? www.agsss.com, is simply that he would take me to the range.
Yep.
He would hand me a firearm. I would shoot it, and I would hand it back to him.
Easy enough.
fast forward
How
to
old?
well, all right, so there's a sad story at like 7 or 8 years old, maybe 6, hard to tell. My dad and his buddies were out off of our porch, New Hampshire.
It's New Hampshire, live free or die.
Yeah, and they're shooting some rifle at some target, and they hand me the rifle.
Yeah.
And I look through that little thing that's on top of it, and I pull the trigger, and everyone's laughing because no one told me you shouldn't have it against your eye.
Oh, right.
So that was like my first memory.
That's how you become a pirate, right?
Yeah, that's my first memory of handling firearms. And then Dad moved out to Wyoming, and I remember a couple times. Now by then I'm a teenager.
Yeah.
And that whole scenario of go to the range, shoot something, hand it back to him. Fast forward a little bit further, college. I meet my now husband.
Nice.
And he had his pistol permit, so I got my pistol permit. And we'd go to the range, he would hand me a gun, I would shoot it, he would hand it back. Now I had my permit, but I still didn't know anything.
Wow.
So that's 1990. Now, fast forward to children, 2006, 2007. We'd always had firearms in the home. I knew enough not to do anything stupid.
Right.
But now that I had kids, I'm like, okay, I really need to understand how to not become the statistic that everybody hears about of how people harm themselves with guns in the home.
Right.
And having heard that statistic, that is where I'm like, I really need to make sure that I don't cause myself harm, my husband harm, or my children harm. So that's like the beginning. That was the evolution of, ooh, I need to learn something.
Right.
Because, face everything and run. Or I don't know, there's a fear thing in there somewhere,
Face everything and run, right.
Yeah, it's like face everything and rise. Sorry, that's the good one. Or it's like, there's another way. So I didn't want to be, afraid. I didn't want to tell my husband we have to get rid of the guns because we have children.
Right.
I went the other way of let me learn something. So education. Like education, not legislation. Like the DC project.
We'll get there.
I know. I'm just saying.
It all ties in.
Put the little seeds out there.
Right.
So that was 2006, 2007. All right, so you're going to go down a hill, and then you're going to go up another big hill.
But I'm still staying straight?
Yeah. Okay. Well, you can choose left or right, and I can bring you around the green.
All right.
Or we can continue going straight, and we can bring you through Bantam and all these other cute little quaint New England towns.
I'm just driving.
All right, well, so you're going to, when you get up to the green, stay to the right.
All right.
Sorry, and I have to do this. I can look for my L versus my R. So anyway.
She's not dyslexic.
No, I just need my left hand with an L so I know which way to go. Yeah, that
is
too.
It this one?
No, it's this one. Well, it depends on whether your cameras are going to flip it around or not.
No, but
because if someone looking at you,
you tell someone they're a loser. Is it this or is it I'm a loser?
I have no idea.
Who cares?
It is what it is.
We're going to the green.
We try to be nice people so that we don't call people losers.
This is true. This is what I tell people. Right, I've been a teacher for a long time. You can't say anything bad about people. So when I'm teaching gun classes and somebody does something improperly, I say, "Oh, you're doing a great job being a bad example."
There you go. Oh yeah, no, I use that for my parents all the time. In that everyone is put on the earth for many reasons. Some people are put here to be a good example. Some people are put here to be a bad example.
Right.
And we all fit that category somewhere. So, all right. So up here where we're sitting in traffic, you're gonna get to a stop sign, and then you're gonna go left.
All right, stop sign and left. I swear you said right, but that's okay.
No. So right here is the Y, where you're staying to the right. See, because up here you could go left or right.
Oh my God! So I'm taking a left.
So you're going right here to the stop sign. That's why we're all going. So see that giant big stop sign right there?
Right, STOP, skip town, Oprah's
but see how you had to stay right?
Oh, here's the Y.
See?
Do we want to stay in the Y if we're, if we all have to stop?
Well, you can go that way now if you want, because there's a light we can go in, and You said I was giving directions.
You are giving
You're such a boy.
It's not bad. It's really not.
All right. So kids. You got kids. You decided to learn more about gun safety and how to be safe with a gun. Right. That's 2006, 2007. Because they were only 15 months apart.
Irish twins, I think is what they're called.
No. Actually, I have a girlfriend who was literally 9 months apart from her brother.
Oh my.
Oh yeah. The doctor's like, did you? Oh, never mind. So anyway. But yeah, no, it was that with our first child, it took a little while. So we didn't know that once you get pregnant, there is no trying after that. You just do. Yoda would be very proud.
I like that. Okay.
So 2007, I am a mom of a infant and a toddler.
Nice.
And my sister dies.
Ooh.
And I'm living at home with my mom.
Oh, man.
And my husband says, go to the gun range. Get out of the house.
Right. Blow some steam off.
So, and so that was how I really started going to the range in 2008. And I would go to the range, and the very nice gentleman there would help me unpack.
He would hand you a loaded gun.
They would continue to show me how to load and tell me why my gun was wrong and all of that for the things that we were doing.
Yeah.
And I got into Bullseye.
Oh, cool.
Which is very slow, methodical.
Right. Stand
there, breathe, squeeze the trigger stuff.
Right, put your hand on your hip.
Yeah, and so I got into that, and then, you know, it was a big deal. It's like we wanted to have an all-girls team. So by 2009 or 10, I was on the Torrington Gun Club's first all-girls Bullseye team.
Very cool.
And I had a very cool conversation while we were shopping for the puppy. The dude's like, I told him I'm a competitive shooter. He's like, when did you know you're good enough? And I'm like, no. This is where everyone gets it wrong. It's like, you have to become a competitor to learn what you need to learn. To get better. Because all those times at the range, standing there, shooting something, not knowing what to pay attention to, not paying any of that, and they don't have a stop sign, just so you know.
They don't have a stop sign?
They do not.
But they're all
but he's
stopping.
turning, so you can go.
Oh, right.
So go straight. We'll go a little bit further this way before we come up. But this is the bucolic, you know, Litchfield green area.
The Litchfield green.
Yes. See, that's the black and white church I was telling you about with the pretty steeple.
There we go. It is a black and white church.
You know, with the whole little the clock and everything.
New Englanding.
Yes, it even chimes on the hour.
Oh, very cool.
So I got in a Bullseye competition, and it wasn't because I was any good. It was they just wanted an all-girls team.
Makes sense. Gives you a reason to get out of the house.
But it also built my confidence to realize it was okay that I sucked. And they weren't looking for me to perform necessarily. Versus now where it's like, oh, I'm a competitive shooter and I'm sponsored. Yes, my pretty pink shirt is an Icarus shirt, by the way.
Wow.
Since we're talking about sponsors and stuff.
All right.
But it's just like, not that I'm really that great anyway, but it builds confidence. It's
Absolutely.
like something that I was not really fearful, but I knew not to touch them. Like, I'm like, okay, there's guns, I'll let my husband take care of this.
Right.
And then I tell everybody about my Wonder Woman moment of where I went up and I packed my own range bag. And I'm like, I am Wonder Woman now.
I packed my own range bag. This is all it takes to be Wonder Woman, is to pack your own range bag.
It really was, because I wasn't afraid anymore. I wasn't scared. I wasn't worried about hurting anyone because I understood how it worked.
Gotcha.
And so, we'll fast forward 2014 now. You got to see my range.
Yes.
And in like 2012 is kind of when we put the range in.
Okay.
And I figured I'd have friends over. So I called, I'm like, hey, I want to get insurance. And they're like, oh, well, are you an instructor? I'm like, no, I am not an instructor. Right. Nor did I ever plan on teaching anyone anything. Yeah. And so,
right, but I'm taking this off.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Choking.
Don't die. So anyway, it is one of those things where I went to the NRA site, I'm like, instructor courses, because I wanted to get insurance for the range. It was a Tuesday. There was an NRA instructor course that Thursday.
Whoa! Just by the hair of your chin.
I called, I'm like, hey, do you have any spots? They're like, yes, we do. And 3 days later, poof,
bam!
There I am.
Starting the process. Yeah. But you have idiot drivers here too.
Oh yeah, we're good like that.
So you can see all the traffic that we have during the quarantine.
Yes, yeah. Well, it is Litchfield on a weekend, to be fair, and all the bikers and everybody else. And during the week, it's a little bit quieter, but not a whole lot.
All right.
So I think what we're going to use for our turnaround point is up here. We have the Litchfield Inn.
The Litchfield Inn.
Yes, it's going to be up here on your right.
Because we're in Litchfield.
Yes, that would be it.
All right.
And then that way we'll turn you around and get you to go the other side of the green.
Cool.
So anyway.
called on Tuesday, take the class on Thursday.
Yep. By Sunday.
By Sunday, you're officially an instructor.
Yeah.
Monday, you're like, hey, I want to give you money for insurance.
Pretty much, yeah. Kind of, sort of.
Wow.
And that was just so we get insurance for our range. I had zero plans of doing anything with my instructor thing other than getting insurance. That was it. So, I don't know. So, a girl and a gun happened.
Yes, let's talk about a girl and a gun.
As a competitive shooter, we travel over New England, shooting everywhere. That's Litchfield Inn if you want to grab
There's
that
the
one.
Litchfield Inn.
Just
Oh, it's a black and white building as well, and no one's here.
It's the colonialism thing, right? The black and white. So, and it's got a nice turnaround, so you don't have to you can just drive around in circles. See,
the cops don't come get us.
I used to be a limo driver, so I know all about not wanting to turn around. So
very cool.
So yeah, so being a competitive shooter, USPSA, IDPA. Oh yeah,
Should we go all the way?
Yeah, it's fine.
Right, we'll live on the wild side.
There you go. But
we're staying for a short time.
Yeah.
See how short it was? Thanks for coming. All right,
private property, no trespassing. That's what those signs said.
Oh, okay. We're not trespassing, we're just driving.
Yeah, exactly. So, let's see. Well, 2010 was my first IDPA thing where I got to shoot. And then being in the IDPA USPSA circuit, I met lots of really cool people. Mm-hmm. And someone's like, oh, you got to go to this girl and a gun thing. And I'm like, a what? A who?
A what and a who?
Yeah. And I'm like, you gotta go. My friend Kitty Richards was like, do you know about this? I'm like, no, I know nothing. So because of Kitty, I found out, I met Juliana Crowder, the founder of A Girl and a Gun, at Smith & Wesson Indoor Nationals, I think. And we did a little interview thing together.
Yeah.
And then I went out to A Girl and a Gun for the very first one in Waco, Texas.
Wow.
So, and the thing is that all of my life I've been a tomboy, riding dirt bikes, breaking horses, fun stuff like that.
Cool.
And I haven't had a lot of girlfriends. And I got into the gun stuff, and I found I really like a lot of the women that I meet through firearms. And I was thinking about that this weekend, and part of it is they have that confidence. They've had their Wonder Woman moments of understanding a piece of metal is not controlling them. They're in control of that. And like Colt said, it is the ultimate equalizer.
It is. Fear no man, no matter his size. I forget the rest of it.
I don't know
something, something for I equalize.
Yeah. And so it's just one of those things where I think that Wonder Woman moment makes a difference.
That's cool.
And so meeting other women that have that confidence and understand that, it's not that we're bullies, it's not that we're mean, it's just that that self-confidence, it's like there's nothing worse than a wounded animal. And fear is a wound. And people who are afraid of things all the time act like wounded animals, and they may or may not know why.
Wow, that's pretty deep.
So, yeah, that's a Suicide for Saturday thing. But anyway.
We'll hit that too.
So Girl and a Gun. Oh gosh, when was the first one? I don't know. Someone else will know.
Right.
But
we'll ask Robin.
Yeah, Robin will know for sure. And then you put it in the comments under the YouTube thing.
Right. If Robin watches the show.
Yes. Snap.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah. So you can go this side, so you get to see the prettiness of the green up here.
The green. The Litchfield green.
The Litchfield green. So let's see. Girl and a Gun. IDPA USPSA. Became an instructor. 2013, spent all that year practically in zoning, trying to open up my shooting school.
Wow. Now, how many have you? We're turning right here.
Yeah.
Okay. How many classes can you teach?
So.
And what do you need to do to get a license here in Connecticut? Because I find it a little confusing.
Yeah. So it's really they don't have a stop sign, which is more fun than exciting, but they're going that way, so they do.
There's a little hectic. Is this guy sunning?
Yeah, looks that way. But they're opening up restaurants now, so you can do outdoor service apparently. Or maybe May 20th is when that's coming. I don't really know. It's all very confusing. It changes every day with every update. It's very hard to tell.
Right.
So 2013 is when I decided because the Wonder Woman moment, made me realize that, ooh, I can teach people. I want to share that Wonder Woman moment with other women. And at that point, my husband and I are like, well, we don't know if I'm going to teach men or women. You want to go we can go that way too. More churches and stuff.
Let's go look at some more churches.
And then it's going to be country.
Must have a lot of sinners up there.
Lots of Puritans, I think.
There we go.
All right, so back to the process. So the things that I teach are, you have a pistol permit class, which is a basic safety course, which when I took it, I was still pretty clueless. Yeah. And I didn't realize it was just a safety course. I thought I was going to take this course and I was going to need everything that I needed to know in order to carry.
The right.
Be a concealed carry person.
Sure.
And I got out of that 8-hour class and I'm like, oh, yeah, no.
There's a lot more to it.
So I warn all my students, I'm like, all right, I know we're spending 8 hours together, but you're not ready to carry when we're done. This is the beginning. This gives you the license to be able to learn more. Yeah. So at my school, there's a couple things I offer. One is you don't have to have a pistol permit. You can come and just try shooting and see if it's worth it to you to take that 8 hours of your life and all that money and everything else.
That's cool.
So try before you buy sort of thing as far as, do you even like guns? Because I'm definitely not of the mindset that everyone should have one or that everyone should love them. And then I offer the pistol permit classes. I also offer introduction to the shooting sports. So if you think you want to, because my husband and I sat on the couch forever watching Shooting USA and seeing all these cool things on the TV. I'm like, that's so awesome. And we had no idea that it was here because all the shows were Florida, Arizona, California. You know, we had no idea that you could do cool stuff like USPSA and IDPA here in New England. Right. So also for all those people who already have their pistol permits, but they need a refresher, I do a ton of one-on-one coaching. Oh, cool. And all my classes pretty much are one-on-one except for the pistol permit class. Gotcha. Because my goal at a great start shooting school is to give you a great start. Is that get you comfortable and safe with a firearm. So when you go to a class with Masada Ayub or Tatiana Whitlock or any of the other people that you would go to. Or any of the other people that have been in Riding Shotgun with Charlie. Yes, all of those people that I can't possibly name. Okay. But Charlie will put you in the description. Right. Because there's so many amazing people in firearms. Yeah. Because when I got my permit, I'm like, what do I do now? Where do I get classes? What's next? Yeah. And it was all 3 days away. I had to travel to Arizona. It was $1,000, all of that. So my focus point is $65 for an hour, and you can fit that into your schedule. Right. And you can buy a package of 10 for $500 to make it less. But the idea was, it's like you can have that one-on-one to figure out what you need to know. And because I've traveled the country like you, I know people all over. So if you want to get tactical, I have people to send you to. If you want to get sporty and get, Grandmaster, I have people I can send you to. Because it's a great start. It's not, I'm going to make you Annie Oakley. It's just the beginning. Oh, and that was the horse farm I used to work at that we just went by. Nice. And that was also the turn that I forgot to tell you to take. So there's that. Right. But it's okay. The next right, you can take the next right. It's a little ways though, but I just realized, I'm like, oh, that was the horse farm I meant to have you turn on. That's what you get for having me give you directions while I'm talking. That's quite all right. Sorry, my husband will be laughing hysterically when he watches this, if he watches this. He better watch it. Well, yeah, you never know. So anyway, that's kind of it. It's one of those things where I offer what people need, and I'm working on my marketing to try to get that out there better. Cool. Because all my students are like, you're so awesome, I love you. And they're like, why don't more people know? And I'm like, I'm not good at the whole marketing side of my business. Fire my marketer. They're like, who's your marketing? Me. Yeah, so you can take that right. We're going to take this right? Are we going to have a quick... No, it's just a regular, right? Or we're going to have a quick what? A quick U-turn. Oh, no, because we can go up here and then we can take the left and then the left. And then we'll be that way. Well, your time's going to run out before we're home or anything. But, that's all right. So that's what I offer. I try to offer the one-on-one, hands-on sort of stuff. Now, you were telling me you just became a training counselor? Yes. An NRATC. About a year ago, exactly. March of 2019. Again, thanks to the encouragement of others in the shooting community.
Yeah.
There's a gentleman, and he works down at Academy here in Salem, Connecticut. And he's just like, I want my daughter to be an instructor, but I want her to be taught by you. You need to become a training counselor.
Wow.
And he waited a year
Oh my gosh.
for his daughter to become a training counselor or become an instructor until I became a training counselor and I could instruct instructors.
That is, that's very commendable.
So
That is very cool. Good for you. Obviously, you got a good reputation.
well, and yeah, and it's like,
Can we take this left?
sure, you can take that one.
Jeez. Someone's got to pay attention, right?
But it's a dead end, so I guess it's going to be the U-turn after all.
Yeah. Jeez. Then no would have been an appropriate answer to. Do I turn left here?
Well, it's okay. You seem to work well with it. You know, it's all
Right.
good.
I don't know where I'm. I don't want to say I don't know where I'm going. I trust my passengers.
Your co-pilot. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, see, multitasking, it's a lie. It's such a lie. But
It really is.
it's so you can switch between tasks quickly. You can't actually multitask.
I'm with you on that.
But well, yeah, they've got scientific proof. But depends which scientists you listen to.
Jeez, here we go. So we don't really know.
No. Well, we do, but again, so everything I've done, every step of my career has been an impetus from somebody else. In that, Bill Bastenbeck is a dude who pushed me to join the Bullseye team, even though I knew that I sucked.
Right.
But because I was there, I was willing to continue to try to get better. And then this other guy, Briar Roberts, it was the guy who was like, your gun is wrong, use this one, it's the right one. And so he taught me about why you don't use a SIG P226 for Bullseye, you use a Ruger Mark III.
Right.
Because it kind of works better. All right, so go back that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like these two were probably very instrumental to me getting to where I'm at, because they're the ones who originally helped me get to that comfort level.
Yeah.
They were the guys that were just,
Look at all
you
this
can do
social
this.
distancing.
I know.
The cars should be 6 feet apart.
I know. The parking is all off. As long as you get out different. They timed when they got in and out of
There
their
we go.
cars. That's what it was. But and then becoming an instructor was totally by accident.
Yep.
But then Juliana's like, oh yeah, you need to be an instructor to be a girl in a gun, team lead. I'm like, oh, okay. No. Luckily, Sam took over that for Connecticut. I just help with the Girl in a Gun chapter here in Connecticut.
Okay.
And then through those connections is how I got into the DC project.
Yes, which we're going to talk about now.
And the DC project, for those of you who are watching this for the first time and haven't heard about it yet,
I've only interviewed like
half of
12?
us,
12?
Okay.
Somewhere around 10, maybe
10
12.
or 12
I don't
DC
know.
project people.
I know.
So, but it's different though now, this year.
Yes, because you're trying to have state.
We are having state chapters now.
There we go, state chapters.
There it is. Because it used to be one woman.
One woman from every state.
Yes. And now.
One woman-ish.
Yes, give or take. Some states like ours had two. So now we're expanding. So no matter what state you're in, you can look up DC Project and you can look up your state and you can find your state leader.
Very cool.
I'm the state leader here in Connecticut.
Yay! I love it. I love that I'm with Miss Connecticut.
Yes, it's
I'm with
true.
Miss. This is what I've always wanted to be. I've always wanted to be with Miss Connecticut.
And I don't have a sash or anything. We actually were discussing that, like at the next event. We need to have sashes.
Oh my God, that would be hysterical.
Because then we can learn who's from each state.
Right.
We're lucky to remember each other's names because we get together once a year in DC.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like Facebook, and Facebook is confusing and
Oh my gosh.
it's so confusing. So anyway, so DC Project has state chapters now, and we're absolutely recruiting, looking for women who have stories to tell. Because 2013, here in Connecticut, December, everybody knows, Sandy Hook happened.
Yeah.
And like you and I were talking about in my kitchen, it was brutal. I had just started to be aware of how the gun legislation and stuff worked in like 2010-11, like same time that I became a competitive shooter. I realized that a standard capacity magazine is what guns come with naturally, like a car with four wheels.
Right, this is what they make them for.
Yes. That I didn't have to go upgrade to a 17-round mag because that's what my Smith & Wesson MP came with. So, So I'd been in a little bit. We had been fighting the magazine ban for a while, because lucky folks in Mass, you've had it for a lot longer than us.
Yeah, real lucky. Mm-hmm. Look at you with your 15, 17 rounders.
Oh, I know.
Oh my God.
Who knew? But so.
But you can't have them anymore, right?
No. Well, yes, actually, grandfathered in.
Oh my
if we
God.
had them. So as competitive shooters, we had a whole lot of them prior to. So we had a grandfather for that one.
So how do they know? How do they know?
You know, that's the thing. You and I will always know that they don't.
They don't.
In that, we registered ours as good little law-abiding people. We
Right.
did. But the reality of it is there's
Nobody knows.
There's nothing.
Nobody knows. This is what I don't like. So you just hit on this about the when you get into it, you start to learn about stuff. And I've talked to a number of friends who are non-gun folks, and when you say, "Oh, you can't do this," "Oh, you can't do that," "Oh, you can't do this," like, well, you don't. Well, you have a Second Amendment right. Right, we do have a Second Amendment right. But look, these are all the restrictions that we have. These are all the restrictions that we have, and even though it says there's no infringement, taking class is infringement. Charging money for a license is infringement. If someone gives you a license, they can take it away. Having to go through background checks is infringement. Having to go through a background check when you buy something is an infringement. Like, it's all infringement. It's all infringement, man.
Yes.
We're going.
I mean, this is one of those.
Yeah, and people that aren't gun folks don't realize this. And then when you get into it, you're like, wait a second, this is baloney.
Yeah, so this is like Holly Sullivan and I were having this conversation about, we've had this interesting, we all have our own journeys, right?
Yep.
And getting from being a person who absolutely in 2006, if you told me there was going to be a magazine ban, I'd be like, oh, okay, what does it matter? They still have bullets in their guns. That's where I was.
Sure.
Absolutely no doubt. And then to now, where I'm like, oh, I finally understand what freedom is. Ta-da! It's the freedom to choose. If you want to have a firearm, you have a firearm. If you don't want to have a firearm, you don't have a firearm.
Right.
So on and so forth.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh, we're not taking your guns away. We just want this.
Right. We want.
And I'm like, okay. And you know, the blessing of COVID, how many people found out what a lie it was about you can just go buy a gun anywhere.
Right. You can just go buy a gun.
And it's like, no, you really can't. Background checks, licensing, federal firearms licensed dealers, because non-gun people have no idea what an FFL is.
Right. You can just buy one at a gun show.
Yes. It's challenging.
Yeah, I was. Oh gosh. Never mind.
Okay. It'll come to you soon. You stop thinking about it.
I know.
So DC Project helps me focus more, because I was already part of CCDL, Connecticut Citizens Defense League here in Connecticut.
Right.
And even prior to that, I was working with Robert Crook, going to legislation and saying, as a mom, as a firearms owner, my children are absolutely the most important thing to me in my life, and it takes 45 minutes for a cop to come to my house. And having met Diana, and her favorite tagline is, you are your own first responder. Out here, without a doubt.
Yeah, it's I like to tell people that the average police response time is 12 or 14 minutes, which is listening to Stairway to Heaven twice. Yeah, that seems crazy.
Yeah. And it's one of those things, by being politically active, you start realizing all this stuff. Now, I gotta give you, so a book I'm writing is called From Clueless to Confident.
Nice.
And I have to give you some of the clueless parts.
All right. Oh,
So,
good, because I am clueless.
2006,
Yeah.
I would honestly tell you that I knew that there was a presidential election once every 4 years. That was it. That was my political knowledge. That was honest to God.
Goodness.
And that's in my 40s. 30s.
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell us your
No. I know. I'm just trying to, for me, the age thing, I'm like, I have to figure out when it was. So in my 30s. And, yeah, I can't talk. But anyway.
I was going to say, I started to pay attention. I started to pay attention to politics and life a little bit more when I was 30. After I had my first child, and the boy, as I affectionately call him. And I used to tell my then wife, I like to call her my first ex-wife, But I used to say to her that if I ever run for office, my campaign slogan is going to be, I'm putting my foot down and my finger up.
Right? I can see that.
Yes! I think it's a great slogan.
Well, and I mean, now that I've gone from, and I never voted. Because
you never voted? Oh my gosh.
I think I might have voted once or twice from 20 to 30s.
Oh my goodness.
Because, you've heard this a million times. Why would I vote when I don't even know anything about any of the candidates? It's totally irresponsible of me, and that is why I did not vote.
Yes.
Now I know all the candidates by name and what region they're living in, and I know what's going on, and I'm trying to get people, again, back to the Wonder Woman moment of trying to spread to understand.
Yeah.
It's like, this is why you need to know these things.
It is.
So, it is. I mean, so DC Project, Connecticut Citizens Defense League, all of these help you get aware of what's happening.
Of what's going on, and start to pay attention to this stuff, so that maybe you can become an activist yourself.
Yes.
A lot of us are accidental activists. Like if you would have told me 10 years ago that the stuff I'm doing, I'd be like, that's crazy talk.
Oh, so there with you, absolutely, no doubt.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But now that we're doing these things, I'm like, oh my god, it's the whole when the student is ready, the teacher will appear sort of a thing.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, no. If you ever told me I was going to be a firearms instructor, I'd be like, have some more? Really? Go ahead. I don't know what you're smoking, but that's not me.
Right.
Or if you told me I was going to be the RTC chair of Harwington.
Wow.
I would also tell you, no, have some more. Much less drive to DC once a year and go talk to
politicians about all this stuff.
Yeah.
Nuts.
And I mean, so it's like, it's made me, being a gun owner has made me more confident.
Yeah.
We're going back that way.
Mm-hmm.
It has made me more educated about our political system.
Yeah.
It has made me more aware. Then getting into self-defense training, which is not all about guns.
Yeah.
One of the things that's really important is your head is up and you're looking around.
Heads on a swivel.
And you're aware of other things. Because right now we're a little myopic. We're looking at a single virus without looking at all the other
everything else
that's happening.
All of this is going to spill over into something else.
Oh, it's not going to be pretty.
It's not. All right, well, listen, we are almost where we need to be. How can people find you and all of your stuff?
All right, so agsss.com.
Yeah, AGSSS. Great Start Shooting School.
But I figured nobody actually wants to write that, but you can write a greatstartshootingschool.com.
It's a mouthful.
I know.
When I got the writing shotgun with Charlie.com, and they're like, that's a lot. I'm like, yeah, but it's what it is.
Yes, exactly. So I do have both of those.
Very cool.
And I don't know my phone number, so I can't give that out. But the email, the website is the easiest thing.
Awesome.
Honestly, if you Google Brooke Cheney, Harwington, Connecticut, you actually get all my different rally appearances or what come up on other people's pages and stuff.
That's cool.
I do have a YouTube channel. I do have.
Oh my God, we didn't even talk about the Suicide Saturday Nights.
Well, but if you go to the YouTube channel, you'll see a bunch of Suicide Saturday Nights. I will get more actual gun stuff up there, but
that stuff's not about gun stuff though.
Yeah, well, it's about mental health.
Yes, it is.
I'm just saying there's a mix of stuff up there because there's how-tos. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff.
This time goes by.
I know.
Man, like that.
It is what it is.
It is.
It's a miracle anyone watches till the end.
I know, right? According to YouTube, they don't.
I know.
That's all right. It is what it is. I put the information out there.
There you go.
All right, so we're going to put links to all of that stuff.
Okay.
We need you guys to, first of all, check out Leadslingers Whiskey Hand Sanitizer. Leadslingers, you can get the hand sanitizer at info@leadslingerswhiskey.com. You can buy their other products, which are really good, if I may say so.
Are they yummy?
Yes.
I'm not much of a whiskey. I'm kind of a tequila girl.
Well, here's the scoop. They have whiskey, they have rye whiskey, they have the cinnamon whiskey, and they just came out with a rum.
Okay. So rum I might be able to get behind.
You might want to check that out. You also want to check out Riding Shotgun with Charlie on all of the social network platforms. Please like and share this with everybody. Check out the Self-Defense Radio Network, sdrn.us. It is all of your pro-freedom podcasts in one place. And like and share and subscribe. We are trying to get the Stagecoach across America. And Leadslingers Whiskey is helping us stay healthy and sanitized. We are, what was the thing I said? We're spreading the health.
Spreading the health.
All right. Listen, Brooke, thank you so much for being on. We're going to keep talking. We'll have some extra stuff for fun. But this is going to be the end of the show, and we'll see what we got. Thank you very much.